Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. I feel like it's been forever. You know, my long lost brother here. It's been like a week and a half. I missed you, buddy. Snoog, welcome back to the show. Like, honestly, I feel like it's like when you go on a work trip on vacation, you miss your kids. Snoog, we're back, baby.
I've been dying to get back, especially for the trade show. I've been talking to my girlfriend about it. I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. I want to be back. I want to talk trades. I just want to be here. So feels good to be back. It does. It feels like you're on a vacation you don't want to be on, and you're away from what you want to be doing. So I'm excited to be back here and just chat it up. And we also got the Smash Accept High Rollers going. So I'm excited as that. So I got the Dynasty fever kicking in big time right now.
You can't beat it. You and I are reunited. Brock's reunited with that mustache. He's got a lot of good things going on. Brock, it's Trade Show Tuesday, baby. Let's go.
I know. I'm excited. And before we jump into this, I know we got a few little specials that we're going to be doing if we hit some milestones. So cover those off real quick and then waste no time, dive right into things.
All right. So the first one, we always do the basic at 5. We're going to do that, like we were talking about not doing it, but I love getting new names in there, new faces, people to talk to, and really let them see what we're all about here at Smash Accept. At 10, we'll give away a VIP Patreon month worth $20. At 15, we'll give away another one. Brock, I wasn't going to do it, but let's do it. All right. We've teamed up with draftkits.co. That's not .com. That's .co. Code DAD25 will get you 10% off. I do these for all my redraft leagues. It is the best way to absolutely smash your draft. So we are going to give away one of these today. Once we get to 20, I'll have my buddy over at Draft Kits send you over they have the best custom board you can get. They have the best stickers. Everything's reusable. The board that we have behind me, they made that. They also did, my kids draft where they have reusable stickers. So if you're tired of buying every single year, buy the same, you go out and you buy one, throw it away. This is one where you can peel all the stickers off when you're done and do it again next year. I literally left them up all year, and the next year I just peeled them all off. Like we all were right before the draft, we looked at it, made fun of each other's picks because that's what we do, right? We all make fun of each other, razz each other, and they're like, here it is, And so draftkits.co, go over there, Dad25 will get you 10% off. Let's get going with trade number 1.
Let's do it. Trade 1 coming here from Pie Sizer over on the Discord.
Well,
sorry if I butchered that pie. We got one side of it with Brian Thomas Jr. or a rebuilding team's 26 first and Emeka Egbuka. See the finger point, Dad. I'll throw this one your way.
So disclaimer on this one, Snoog, because I'm going to kind of throw it your way. So the one side has Brian Thomas Jr. The other side has the Brian Thomas Jr. owners first and Egbuka. So the way you got to look at this, and I always talk about it in rebuilding, is step number 1 is you got to get your first back. If you do it right, if you do it the Smash Accept way, it's going to be the 101. So is Jeremiah Love and Emeka Egbuka enough for you to move off of Brian Thomas Jr.? The way I look at this is you have to do it. You have to get that 101. You could build around Brian Thomas Jr., but next year, there's a really good chance Egbuka is going to go up in value. And there's a great chance that 101, 102 is going to go up in value, just like it did this year. So it's an interesting trade. It has to be a lock for a top 2, though, for me, Snoog. Like, if you're doing this, you better commit to that rebuild. Like, because if this is 103, 104, 105, you lose. You lose hard. You know what I mean? So it has to be one of those ones where you guarantee it's there. And a lot of people say, well, how do you guarantee it? If you're not in a league that's max points for, you need to get a new commish. It needs to be max points for so you can make sure you get that RB void and create that 101. Snoog, talk to me a little bit more about this trade because it's risky, right? Because BTJ, he's 21, 22 years old, I believe, about to just tear it up this year.
Yeah, we love BTJ. Everybody loves him, but Emeka Egbuka is also a stud wide receiver prospect. I mean, the NFL treated him that way. We knew what he did at Ohio State alongside all that competition. He was playing with other studs that went, top 10, top 5 in the NFL draft. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Marv, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, all those guys. But when you're rebuilding, if you don't have your own 26 first, you're wasting your time. It's just a complete waste of time. This is exactly what you want to do in this type of situation. Get that 26 first. Once you do, it's your own first. The ball is in your court to make that the 101. If you don't do that, that's not our fault. Because if you're doing it the Smash Accept way, you're getting another foundational wide receiver asset, in my opinion. Emeka Egbuka, who's my wide receiver 20 in Dynasty, and the 101 in 2026, which is going to be a top 3 round startup pick. I don't care who it is. Every single 101 is at least a 3rd round startup pick or a 2nd round startup pick. And then it's a free Emeka Egbuka if you look at it from that lens, honestly. So I think this is a smash accept move all day long as a rebuild. If this was mid to late, though, now we're talking a different story. I'm leaning Brian Thomas Jr. But since it's my own first, I know I can make that the 101. I want that side.
Yeah, the tricky part, you can't really ask for more. Like what we talk about in our rebuild, if you haven't checked out our episode, like you don't tip your hat. If you tip your hat, this guy knows you're going for the 101. Well, now all of a sudden you got to treat that pick as the 101 when you go to trade it. If you have someone else's first and they want to buy it back from you, you almost always have to bump that up. Even if they're a mid-level team, you say, you know what, that's going to be early. So don't trade it as if it's mid, trade it as if it's early. You have what they want, right? So in this particular situation, you have that 26 first. He wants that back bad. You know, you got to hold him over the coals a little bit.
Yeah, that's a fun one to go ahead and get started. So like that one. And moving on to trade 2 coming from Adam13 over on Discord. We got a 12-team Superflex contending team. It's now opposite of what we just covered. One side of it, Rome and a mid-26 second. Other side, Jalen Waddle has been getting some buzz here with Jonnu leaving and George Pickens. Dad, I'll kick this one your way. What do we think? Contending team.
You know what I like? This is interesting to me because from a contending aspect, if I'm trading Rome, I want something strong. I think Waddle gets an uptick, right, with Jonnu Smith leaving, but Waddle wasn't getting it done when Jonnu Smith wasn't there. Like Jalen Waddle has not been a relevant wide receiver in years, you know, and I think he's a fantastic talent. I think Pickens could really jump up. But I think for me, I want Rome in the second, and I want to take that second and I want to buy a Connor, a Kamara, something else to add in there. Like I don't think the answer to this question is necessarily either side. Like I would, if I want Rome and I'm going to trade him, I'm going to trade Rome for a 27 first and Devontae Adams. And then I'm going to take my 26 second and buy James Conner. And now I have a stud wide receiver who's going to be top 12. I have a stud running back who's going to be top 24 just for a year because you're contending anyways. Then I have a 27 first, which let's be honest, a 27 first might be worth more than, it's definitely going to be worth more than Pickens, and it probably is worth more than Waddle next year. So I just think that's the way to go about that one.
Yeah, this one's fun. I think Rome is the most intriguing asset, the easiest one to sell out of this group. I'm really big. I think Jalen Waddle has a big bounce back year. As long as Tua plays a full 17 games, which is a big if, but if he does, I think him is going to have a big bounce back, especially with the departure of Jonnu Smith. I think that brings more screen game, more opportunities for Jalen Waddle. When Waddle's healthy, when Tua's healthy, he's the top 15, 20 wide receiver in points per game. I really do think George Pickens is going to thrive and have a career year on the Cowboys this year. I think 1,100, 1,200 yards and, 8 to 10 touchdowns on like 70 receptions is very doable in a Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb offense. And I think that I want the Waddle and Pickens side because I think that you're getting 2 younger receivers that have the upside to blow up and have big years, where Rome is the easiest asset to trade in this deal. But if he has another stinker year and comes out and puts up, 800, 900 yards and a couple touchdowns, there's a good chance that he kind of plummets a little bit in value. Like that's a possibility. I don't think he should, but I do think that is a possibility there. So it's very close. I think I'm with Dad though. Like, why this trade? Like, if I'm selling Rome, I want better. If I'm selling Waddle and Pickens, I want better. So I think both sides, it just doesn't make a ton of sense for me. But I told him in the Discord I like with Waddle and Pickens side, especially as a contender.
And I like the Rome side because almost the exact same thing that you said, but in a different fashion. If all 3 of these wide receivers put up 800 yards, 2 of them, their value's dead. Like if Rome puts up 800, he's going to stay relevant. Waddle and Pickens go for 800 again. That value is going to dip hard for both those guys just for age. Hey, my man Doof's back. We get the there for a while. We almost went 10 minutes in without a super chat. I'm like, you guys forget who we were? Snoog gets a new job. Doof said trade show Tuesdays, hashtag the best. My man Adam Hypel says, put my brother Caleb on, y'all. Do we have that one in a comment something? We'll try to figure that one out. All right. we are on to, and they're going to move on to trade number 3 here in a second. Just trying to. New guy from the Discord just signed up today. I love when we can get a guy to embrace the community. See, the biggest thing at Smash Accept, when we are on our Discord, you go over to patreon.com/Smash Accept. The best way to get in is just jump in and immerse yourself. Some of these guys they go in Snoog's room, they go in Al's room, they come in my room, and they're like, yo, let's talk, and they start to throw some things out there. And then he's like, yo, you guys have a live stream? So like it jumps in there. So let's do his trade right here, because that's what it's all about. We're building a community there. We're approaching 900 now. Snoog, it doesn't feel like that long ago where they're like, we're approaching 50 guys in the Discord, like, is this going to work? And now more guys joining every single month, guys that are just hungry to talk fantasy all the time. And that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Meeting so many different people, getting in leagues with people, picking up orphans, kind of learning the craft of how to just build a dynasty roster and stay competitive and win some money, because everybody loves just, rebuilding for the love of the game, just jumping in there, having fun with trading, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we all know what we want. We want to win some money. We want to make that championship, and we want to have that bragging right. So that's what we're here to help position you into that situation that you can thrive. So we're excited to do that.
Speaking of winning money, I'm about to take Snoog down and Smash Accept high roller 20. I started out with Josh Allen at the 101, Drake May, Garrett Wilson through 3 rounds. I'm ready to go. So that's neither here nor there. Let's get to this trade.
All right, this going in from Mark Shitteman. And again, welcome to the Smash Accept Discord there, Mark. So we got one side with Saquon and Puka, other side with Bowers, JMO, and a late 27 first. Snoog, I'll throw this one your way. What do we think?
I like the Saquon and Puka side personally.
Woo.
I think, Dad, I knew you were going to be on the Bauer side. I just don't care for Jameson Williams at all. And I think I'm looking at like Puka and Saquon for Bowers and that first. I want the Puka side by a lot, and JMO doesn't cut it. I think that would need to be like a Egbuka, maybe like an Olave, a Rome type of wide receiver for me to want in on that type of deal. But I also think it depends if it's like 0.75 tight end premium or like full tight end premium too as well. But
0.5, the pick was, he said mid to late. So we're trying to gear towards the other side. I'm personally, unless I'm all in, like I'm taking the Bowers side wherever I can, because as much as I love Puka, Bowers literally is such a difference maker in it, especially in premium. I mean, he's going a full round earlier. You're getting all those extra points in there. There is next year, JMO and that first will be worth more than Saquon easily. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one. Is I was actually, Mark, I'm going to give you the cowbell. It's not 100% cowbell. It's cowbell my side, maybe not on Snoog's side, but I think Puka's fantastic. I mean, this is, if you want to win now, the left side looks fantastic. You want to win now, I think the right side, you take that late 27 first and buy Derrick Henry, and it's better than that side. I think you have a lot of options here. Once those 27 firsts, it blows my mind, Snoog, but I see guys trading mid 26 firsts for late 27 firsts, and you're like, that's backwards as hell. That's, people are lost in the sauce right now. The 27 class has blinded them because they've seen what you and I did with the 2023 class, where we were like, all right, this is going to be awesome. We're going to load up on all these guys. Not every player is going to hit when you're talking about late first. Notorious hitting us up with the love of the game. I love that. Appreciate you, brother. He's in the Discord chopping it up with us 24/7. Sometimes it feels like that way because we are in there all the time, and I think a lot of guys have said in there, Snoog and Dad are literally the most active, analysts when it talks about being in their Discord. We don't just shoot it out there. We're in there talking to you guys daily. So here we go. Johnny Williams.
All right. Trade coming from Johnny from Twitter. We got one side with CD and Devon HN, other side with Marv and Gibbs. It's an interesting one. Dad, what are your thoughts?
I really love these kind of things because it's like pick your poison. I mean, I want CeeDee Lamb here. And the reason I want this is I think CeeDee Lamb is the sure thing. Yeah, Marv could have a fantastic year and increase in value. But I think the gap between Lamb and Marv is larger than the gap between Gibbs and A-Chain. I would not have a problem if you flipped A-Chain for, a 27 first plus a Chase Brown type or a guy that's a little bit later on in there to insulate off of A-Chain. But Snoog, CeeDee Lamb, man, I know you're big on Pickens, but I think CeeDee Lamb arguably should be in that top 3 conversation for wide receiver 1 in 2025.
Yeah, I this is a tough one. This trade, because you're pulling at my heartstrings here. You got Gibbs and Marv on the other side, but I'm with you because I do think there's a big gap between Lamb and Marv. At least right now there is, and I think the point gap, if you look at it from this perspective, like you can go ahead and kind of cancel out Lamb and Gibbs. People want to lean the wide receiver in that case, especially in Dynasty. But
100%.
I think there's a really good chance that Chain outscores Marv by a good amount of points, but I would rather have Marv in Dynasty. But that's how I'm trying to look at this is like, okay, you get the young foundational wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, but you also don't get that much worse at running back from a production standpoint. Like a healthy Chain, a healthy Tua, you're getting a 320 plus point game or season out of Chain. I think Gibbs is light years better than Devon A-Chain as a running back. Like it's not even close. People want to say it's close. It's not.
The thing is, when you get that
perspective, it is.
Exactly. And you got to bump him down a couple pegs for his TikTok dances with his girlfriend this week. I might move Bijan above him. I'm like, hey, bro, come on. That just ain't it. Here we go. Got 2 more super chat. 3 more. They're filing in now.
All right. Yeah, we hit that 5 milestone. So that's a basic month of the Patreon going out. 10 and 15, 2 VIPs. And then if we do hit 20, we got one of those custom draft boards to make your drafts fun. You're with your buddies. You're all enjoying a drink if you're old enough. Have fun. Sit around the couch. And throw your picks up on the board so everyone can kind of roast you as you're walking up there. So makes it a little bit more fun. This one coming in from Quentin. We got 1 quarterback, QJ sitting at 107. He was offered Judkins. He was offered 107 May Rice for Allen, Ayuk, Najee, Jalen Wright. Smash coming off Allen. He also has 109. So he's on the clock at 107. Should he take Judkins? So he's pretty much saying Judkins, May, Rashi for Allen, Ayuk, Najee, Jalen Wright. Dad, what do we think?
It's a 1 quarterback. I mean, I would say
how did he fall to the 107? That's crazy.
Yeah, he should have been gone at 105. Rashi Rice, honestly, is like, if you're talking about 1 quarterback league, I love having a stud like Josh Allen, but you're getting Drake May. You get Rashi Rice, who's foundational. Then you get Quinton Judkins. Quentin, I love it. That's the kind of deal you weren't expecting going into the draft, with this guy at 107. But now that you go in there, jump in. It's so hard to trade Josh Allen. It really is. Like you want to get an insane premium in super flex, but in 1 quarterback, if this is 6-point passing, I think Drake May is going to have a fantastic season. So I think you're on the right track on this one. Doof, he's back.
All right. Appreciate the second super chat here, Doof. We got one side with CMC, other side ETN, and a random second. Stu, you agree, Cowbell?
I mean, it's you like ETN, right? But I mean, he's not Christian McCaffrey. Never has, never will be. If you're going to make a risk, why the hell not throw a second in there and make the risk sexy as hell?
That risk and that opportunity right there could single-handedly win you your fantasy league. Going for 100%. Christian McCaffrey.
All right. K Money also coming through. Appreciate the super chat, K Money. We got one side with McCaffrey again and Kamara and Igbuka. A lot of new guys on that side. And a second. Other side's got
T-Mac, guys on the other side.
T-Mac, Harvey, Higgins, and Toon. So we got a rookie pack, and then we got a couple veteran running backs and Igbuka on the other side. Snoog, which way are we leaning?
This one's so tough to me because he's saying in the comments the second is early, one of the worst teams by far.
Okay.
He's heavy competing, going for ship. I want the CMC side.
Yeah.
If you take this T-Max side, especially in a rebuild, I think you absolutely smash and it's a great move for you. But with the context of this trade and that second being very early, I think you can go ahead and, let's say it's 201 or 203, you can go ahead and just cancel out Higgins and Tootin with that early second. And then I look at it like T-Mac and Harvey for the 2 RBs and Igbuka. And I think getting, Igbuka and CMC for T-Max, a pretty good haul. And then AK Harvey, slightly into Harvey. It's a damn good trade all around. I don't fault you for going either way. I think the left side can win you your league, though.
I don't hate the idea of the trade. I hate giving up the only foundational asset in this deal, and guys that all could increase in value. I mean, there is a real world scenario where Tedoroy McMillan's worth more than the entire left side by the end of the year. Like McCaffrey gets injured, Kamara gets injured. These are all rentals, and you're giving away an elite asset. If you do this, you better believe in Ibuka. Like that's all I can say, because Harvey will be worth more than McCaffrey by the time the season's over, because McCaffrey's either going to be 29, or he's going to be, like no matter what, that's going to be in that area. Higgins is worth more than Kamara. Tootin, we'll see. There's a lot of rumor about ETN getting pushed into that Rashad White role, whatever you want to believe. But I would slightly lean that left side, but you better be certain. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what I got to say about that one is I hate dealing a Tedoroy McMillan, because you are going to watch him blow up for the next 5 years on somebody else's team, and that scares me. So
if you don't mind going back to that one real quick, does it matter in a trade like this? I'm assuming maybe some of K Money's kind of thought was like, he is getting the 2 running backs to help compete, but honestly, Ibuka might not really help him that much, to where maybe if something did happen to those running backs, he goes down, he still has a young rookie receiver.
Well, yeah, could you do this Harvey, Higgins, Tootin for McCaffrey, Kamara? If you're going all in, you don't need the 201 in Ibuka. So strip it down a little bit, you know what I mean, and get yourself, or make it a little bit
Remove Ibuka in a second for like an Adams at a first, try and do something like that. Maybe. But if it's an early second, maybe not. But just some ideas. It's funny how Ibuka ended up on that side. But moving on.
Yeah, Prism. I got to pull up his trade here.
Was there a question there?
I think there is, but I got to find it. There's so many in here. Hey, Jack Donahue said, "What's up, boys? Thanks." Darth Twerk, "What's up, boys?" Donovan DeRico, "What's up, brother?" Sean Owens. Happy to be Seth Owens, my alter ego again. Love that. You know me, man. I got a little bit of dementia. I got hit in the head with a baseball. People are high on Waddle. Where is
I found Prisms? It's right under his super chat on the live side.
Okay. All right. hey, we're just, Seth's gonna help us out with a little bit of research here. I'll remember his name. We'll get there.
All right, this one coming in from Prism super chat. Appreciate it, man. You got one side 2027 late first and Drake May. Other side, AJ Brown and Kyler Murray. Dad, what do we think here with this one?
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is just disrespected at this point. Like, the gap between Drake May and Kyler Murray should not be as big as it is right now. Kyler Murray's never finished outside the QB 10. AJ Brown, while albeit 28 years old, is going to put up crazy numbers. I think the gap between Murray and May is less than the gap between a late first 2 years from now and a stud like AJ Brown.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Kyler Murray has a lead upside as a rusher. If he just puts it all together with Marv, with McBride, like, it's there. Let's just see him do it. Let's see him, be healthy. We've seen what he's done. He's been an MVP caliber player. We've seen top 5 finishes. We've seen it all. AJ Brown for a late 27 first is just absolutely stealing from candy from a baby, in my opinion. So
yeah,
I think that the gap between Drake May and Kyler is not as big as the gap between AJ Brown and a random late first 2 years out.
Agreed.
All right, next one we got a banger coming in from Mike Honcho, able to move Collins and a late 27 first for Neighbors. Go ahead.
I helped him with this one because I'm like, dude, I awesome. Know the 27 class honestly has elite upside, right? But even in the 23 class, you were still taking Dalton Kincaid at 1.8, 1.9, 1.10. You know what I mean? You were getting Quentin Johnsons. It's not a lock. Malik Neighbors, you're paying a late first to go from Nico Collins, who's 26, turning 27, to Malik Neighbors, who's 21, turning 22. Malik Neighbors is the new Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Just get used to it. That's why he's my Dynasty wide receiver 1. Snoog, would you pay this?
I'm a diehard Nico Collins fan, so it's tough for me to want to give up a 2 for. I don't think we get better from a production standpoint in this trade, but you're getting potentially the Dynasty wide receiver 1 out of it for a late first. This is the type of trade I'm doing if my team's loaded and I don't even need that first and it's just a play around piece. I'm also doing it the other way around if I need a 2 for 1 deal and it's a start 12 and it's, my team's struggling a little bit in some areas, but I think it's a good trade all around.
I'm even doing this if I'm rebuilding. Like I'm that high on Malik Neighbors. Is like, I know we talk about build out, but
He's
you also
unbelievable.
you have to look at, you are now put in a spot where you just got 5 years younger at a core position where you have the wide receiver one, or at least a top 5 wide receiver for multiple years.
Yeah. We got a similar one here, but different players. We got one side with Rashee and a 27 first, other side with Jamar Chase. Dad, does it matter? Early, mid, late? It's Jamar.
It has to be early. I love Rashee Rice more than anybody. You guys all know that. But Jamar Chase is like, if this is the deal on the other one, I mean, I think the difference between Rashee and Nico is not as close. So that really is what changes this. You know, that last trade, it's a late first. If this is a late first, it's not close. If it's a mid, it's still Chase. If it's early, it better be top 3. You know, and that's just playing a game that you shouldn't do. Like with Jamar Chase.
Too far out.
I still think the gap between these two is 2 firsts. So if you're getting Chase, go for it, man. Push the chips in.
All right. And next one coming in from Dustin Lala. Appreciate the super chat, Dustin. He said he got offered Rodgers, AJ Dillon. What team is AJ Dillon even on these days? The Eagles, I think.
I was gonna say, what year is
this? Rodgers, AJ Dillon, Godwin, a first and a third in 2026. Other side has AJ Brown, Penix, and Hawkinson. He says, am I tripping for wanting to throw up at this offer? So it would be him,
Horrible.
Brown,
yeah, it's
Penix, and Hawkinson. It's not close.
Honestly, Dustin,
terrible.
AJ Brown over the entire left-hand side.
Yeah.
Rodgers is worth a late second. Dillon's worth the wrapper when you're done with your egg McMuffin. You know, Chris Godwin is maybe a mid-second. All of that together does not equal AJ Brown. So if somebody offered you that, it's a little disrespectful. I wouldn't even try to counter that one because it's on the rough side.
Yeah. Next one coming in from Overcome. Appreciate the super chat. We got one side with the 104 this year, so rookie draft hasn't happened yet, and Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, I like
this. And Jonathan Taylor. Other side, Puka and Bijan. I can hear it in the background, Dad.
First timer to the show, and I love this because I think the gap. Oh, this is great. No, I really love this because it's like Chase is over Bijan by a decent amount, but I also prefer the 104 and JT over Puka. So you're winning twice.
Both.
You know,
you're
and
getting
like this
Cat Hampton or Travis Hunter at that 104.
Yeah.
Too.
And what I love about the 104,
awesome.
and Snoog and I've been doing this everywhere, is move back to 106, get extra draft capital and get Judkins, get Henderson, move yourself even more, build this thing out. Did Prism drop another one in here, or did I get that wrong?
Yeah, but he didn't put anything in there. I don't know if he's just
throw that one up.
We'll keep on the lookout if he does.
Again, we now hit 12. Just to clarify,
he just put it in. He just put one in there.
I'll pull that up. Draftkits.co. Go over there today. Put in Dad 25 for 10% off. We will be giving away a stock draft board just like this over here. You can get custom ones, any team in the league. I have an Eagles one. The Eagles one is Saquon Barkley jumping backwards up over him.
Oh, that's
you can
cool.
get, the Raiders is Brock Bowers. Whatever team you want, they have a player for that. So wherever you're from, you have the awesome ability to base it off your locale, get yourself into there. If we hit 20, I will give one of these away, get it sent out to your house. So let's get this one up here from, where's he at? Where's Prism?
Prism. It's in the main chat side.
There we go.
Yep. Coming back through Prism. Appreciate the super chat. He said he traded Tyler Warren and a first in 2026 for T. Higgins, Mark Andrews, and a third. Dad's shaking his head. What do we think?
I like T. Higgins. Okay. I think T. Higgins is worth more than Tyler Warren by an early second. I think the 26 first is the key to it all. If it's late, this isn't bad. T. Higgins puts you over the top. Mark Andrews, I know there was a lot of rumor of potentially getting traded to the Dolphins. Now we got Darren Waller over there rapping in Miami. So, we're going that route. Everybody keeps asking how much fab to drop on him. That's wild. Like Darren Waller is a blown hamstring away in week 2 from, you wasting too much fab. Snoog, I kind of want the Warren side unless it's late.
I was going to say that. I want the Warren side because what am I going to do? What would I do with Tyler Warren in this deal?
You trade him for George Kittle. You trade Warren in a second for Kittle in a first, and then take that first and go buy Kamara and get a second thrown on top. We've It's a cookie cutter thing. It works, you know.
Cascading till the end of time. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'd do. I'd take the Warren in the first side. I would. I love T. Higgins, and he's a great player to buy. But when you're getting that much of a haul, value's value. I don't care how much you love a player. Everybody's sellable at a certain price point. So
100%. I want to read this one real quick because this is literally when I started this podcast. This was something that I really wanted to set out and do. And with the help of you guys, we've really done it. But Ty K says, just wanted to give a shout out to y'all gents for producing great content and guidance, right? What we really try to do, there are a lot of great podcasts out there and they put out really fantastic content. What we try to do is make it actionable, give you guidance to make trades. I mean, we can come out here and talk till we're blue in the face and tell you, go buy this player, go buy that player, go sell this player. But what we're trying to do is give you guys trades that you can go to your other leagues. You can make those trades. And in the Discord, we're going to help you make those trades. So, I mean, Ty, appreciate that. Really, really love the support.
All right. Next one. Appreciate the super chat, Ty and Tifi Baco coming in here with one. We got Brock Bowers 101 in a startup with 2.5 tight end premium. That's absurd. So Bowers is his ride or die, zero shame, and ready for the Smash community to question his sanity. So let's just assume super flex, normal PPR for receivers, but tight ends, 2.5 points per reception. Snoog, should Bowers be the 101 or is he crazy?
yeah, he should be the 101. I think he would score 500 fantasy points on a 2.5 tight end premium.
Well, that's what I'm looking right now.
The gap between him and everyone else long term is ridiculous.
I mean, if he gets 100 catches a year, that's 250 points just on catches.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If he's like the next Kelsey, or Kittle, like we've been talking about, like 8 years, you're getting like elite production out of him. That's ridiculous.
And when you look at it in that fashion, I mean, he was putting up 15.5 fantasy points per game before any premium. Then you add all of that on top of that. That's just insane. That's
absurd.
that's some Scott Fishbowl type stuff where you look at the settings and you're like, what do I even do with this?
Yeah, literally.
You're not crazy, Tifa. You're not crazy. You heard it here. If anyone tries saying you are. All right. Next one coming in. From Donovan Dorico. Appreciate the super chat, Donovan. Said his team is at quarterback, Lamar, May, and Bryce Young. Running back, Bijan, Kamara, Henderson, Judkins, CD, Neighbors, Puka, London, Olave at wide receiver, and McBride. Team's loaded, Donovan. It's a start 9, no tight end premium, and no future first. Any moves to make? Maybe just sit back and win a ring, Dad. What do you see?
I mean, you got what I might do. Okay, let's look at Snoog's absolute dream running back room. You know, the only way you could be any better for Snoog is if you had Gibbs instead of Bijan. Yeah. That running back room's ready to smash. You have 4 foundational wide receivers. You have McBride. You have Olave. I'm not tinkering much. If I do, I'm taking right now the extreme value of Drake May and the potential of what Drake May could be. Adding, one of these running backs to Drake May and getting elite, right? Like adding maybe Judkins and getting all the way up to Joe Burrow, now, because now you have, it's start 9. So it's shallow. So you would have, you'd have Burrow, you'd have, Lamar Jackson, Kamara, Bijan, Henderson, whichever guy you decide. And then you still have 4 elite wide receivers. I mean, like, I think this is an embarrassment of riches in a start 9 where I might try to upscale and tier up from Drake May, but everything else is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely agree there.
That's a good one. I like that.
You have running back rooms FF Snoog approved.
You have
and
a great team,
Donovan.
Yeah. If we're trying to grasp at straws to upgrade from May, it's like your team's loaded.
Well, and the other thing you could do is like, I don't mind in these situations. I mean, you're probably not going to start a lot of these players. You're not going to start Henderson or Judkins. I'm trading them for a 27 first plus because everybody wants that 27 first. Not everybody wants Henderson. Not everybody wants Judkins. Build yourself out here a little bit. Super chats are flying in, man.
This one coming in from Bus Nasty. Appreciate the super chat. So we got Downs in a 27 first, Worthy in a 27 second. Are they far enough? I see you making the face. Are they far off enough for you?
I need a projection here. I'm really starting to love Josh Downs. I think he's going to absolutely eat if it's Daniel Daniel Jones. I low key want the downside. The only way I don't like this is if it's like a late first and an early second, or if this is a mid first on the left-hand side with downs, I want it. Otherwise, I'm sticking with Worthy. But when we have these kind of ones, shoot us a DM. You know what I mean? Let's verify a little bit closer. A Moose, for the love of the game. We love those. You know what I mean? We appreciate you. You're always checking in every single time. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys have said, hey, Snoog, Dad, what's going on? Is there a rift there? Is something going on? We haven't seen you guys for a while. Snoog got a new job. He went on vacation. You know, we got a lot of things going on in life. We do our best to bring you multiple shows a week. So we're going to be up. I got my C4. I don't even care what time it is. Snoog and I are going to be up cranking content all night for you guys. So, yeah, thank you. We appreciate that.
Let's go. Next one from Nate Kelly. Appreciate the super chat, Nate. We got a 10-team Superflex PPR, start 11. League mate has Chase, London, and Rice, and he wants to tier up from T, DK, Addison, or Olave. Dad, what would be some ideas, maybe adding on a pick, a player, something like that, to maybe move up to one of those Chase, London, or Rice?
So his league mate has those guys. At cost, I'm buying Rashee Rice. Like, I think what I would like to do is I would like to move Addison or Olave plus to get to Rice. Addison's about to get suspended. As much as I think he could have a fantastic season, the gap is still only like a early second to get to Rashee Rice. I think London's going to go off, where I think if I have T. Higgins, I'm worried a little bit about T. Higgins. He's an injury away from us saying he's injury prone, right? Like, he was healthy for a little bit last year. We know he was, you know, top 5 in fantasy points per game. Drake London's going to kill it this year. You can't afford Chase, but if I could add Olave and T to get to London, or if I could do Addison, Olave for Rice in a second, I think I would do that, because those are foundational assets and you don't have any foundational wide receivers. You have good wide receivers. You don't have foundational. Snoog, what do you think?
Absolutely agree. I think the best way to do it is go from Addison to Rice. Then you have kind of that floor with DK, Metcalf, and Olave, and then you have the ceiling with T and Rice. I think London would be too expensive, but you should definitely see what it would cost. Like, if you could do Addison in your 26 first, or if you have 108, and if you have an extra 26 first, or the 108, like something like that could be a good deal. I just don't think Chase is feasible with that. Just by looking at your receivers, I think you'd have to ruin your team to try to go buy Jamar Chase. So.
Yeah, that would deplete you. And a lot of guys come to me that with those kind of trades, Snoog, where they're like, all right, I want Malik Neighbors, construct me a trade. And I'll do it, right? But what I'll say is, you can do this, but it's literally neutering you. Like, you have no chance of going forward. You know, like, late night show, you know, like, this is kind of what we're rolling with. But, like, it just makes it so you're not going to be able to compete at all. So, great trades. We are 2 away from giving away the draft board, and we are still plenty of time because we're only at trade 5. So let's get back to our regularly scheduled program.
Let's do it. This one coming in from Nick Beals over from Twitter. We got one side with Achan, other side with Tyreek, and an early 26 first. Dad, which side do we take?
Give me Tyreek. Like, this is one where he said in the Discord, this is a guaranteed top 3. If I know I'm going to get something in the top 3 next year, I think A-Chain right now is worth the 103 in this class. But taking Tyreek Hill right now is the biggest beneficiary of this Jonnu Smith trade. Is like his target volume, insane. Like, right now, I think in redraft, he's like wide receiver 17. He's going to smash that. Like, if you want a guy to go all in now with the Jonnu move, I'm literally buying in on Tyreek at the same way I was buying in on Devontae Adams. So I would take this trade. Snoog, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm taking it too. I think Tyreek Hill's ceiling is right there with A-Chain, whatever it is, Devon A-Chain. I know there's
they're razzing you on that one, man.
Like,
YouTube's all over you.
I got news for you guys listening. I don't care. I'll say it how I want to say it. I will say it how I want to say it. We do not care. But he is good. And I think Tyreek Hill's ceiling's right there with him. And I think you're getting an early first. That could be the best asset in the trade. And it's tough 100%. To say that for how valuable A-Chain is right now. But that early first, Jeremiah Love, some of these other guys coming in, you know, they're having that potential to jump them. Like, we see it every year. Like, look at Breece Hall. He was viewed as the Dynasty RB1 at one point. Now he's like the RB8 in Dynasty. Like that position fluctuates like crazy. If you're not Bijan, Gibbs, or Genty, you're probably flying around the rankings every year, going from 4 to 7 to 3 to 7 to 9 to 12.
And that's why we talk about insulating. That's why that's become such a relevant thing for us. Love it. Poondagoon.
All right. Next super chat coming from Poondagoon. Appreciate it. He said he traded Hampton, Pickens, and T. Ferg and a 26 second for Nico, Likely, and a 27 first. And that makes his receiver room now Nico, Brian Thomas, Tet, Travis Hunter, Worthy. How'd he do, Dad? We like this trade?
Snoog, I want to break it out. I don't know if you're going to let me, but I want to break it out because I think Nico and Hampton, or I would rather have Nico. A 27 first, I'd rather have over Pickens. The Ferguson and 26 second aren't enough to take me away. I mean, I think the 26 second is likely. So Ferguson's not a guy that is going to really steer me off this trade. I love getting Nico Collins. We did a show where it was our guys we can't stop buying. Snoog, I really tried to trade up. When I traded up and got Garrett Wilson and Smash Accept 20, I really wanted Nico. I was hoping he would fall to that area, but those guys are sharp. They know better.
All right. Yep. Trade 6 coming from Razzle over on the Discord. We got a 10-team half-point premium, half-point PPR, just normal PPR, half-point. Stroud and Judkins or T and Hampton. Snoog, what do we think?
I want Stroud and Judkins here all day long. This is fun. The way I'm looking at it is I want Judkins pretty close to T. Higgins, and I think I'm taking Stroud over Hampton pretty easily in a super flex league. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it.
Yeah, even this being a 10-team league, I mean, 10-team definitely changes the quarterback position a little bit. He has Fields in May. So, I mean, I think
you need Stroud, I think.
But if you trade for Stroud, are you starting him? That's the weird question,
that's a
right?
Good question.
Is because Fields is starting. If you have Fields, he's starting over both.
I think there's a chance that Stroud easily can outscore Drake May in a season like that. That's possible. Not like out of the realm of possibilities. I know May has the rushing upside and stuff, but Stroud could have a banger year with an O-line.
Hey, I'm still with you. I just think the gap between Judkins and Hampton is not as big as what the gap should be between Stroud and T. If you had a third quarterback here of like a Dak Prescott, then I would say, you know what? I'm okay with you making a T Higgins type move, but here I'm not. So I have a boatload of super chats. I'm going to get them all, but we're going to keep cranking with the show here and then we'll throw them up. Cool. So I'm going to get a couple trade shit in here real quick.
Next trade coming in from the War Room Capital over on Discord. One side, Olave and a mid-second in 2027. Other side, ETN and a mid-27 first. So the classic 1-2 swap. Dad, what do we think here?
Snoog, this is hard because I think Olave is going to be good. There is a real chance that Olave is worth the mid-27 first next year and that ETN becomes worth less than the mid-27 second next year. Snoog and I are big enough on ETN that I would, if I don't need anything, right? Like this is what I tell people. If I don't start any of these players, give me the 27 first side because the risk on Olave's side is still pretty great. Like he could retire. So if it's a starter and I need a wide receiver, this is okay for me to get Olave. It's not bad, but I think I want the 27 first side and just roll with the punches.
Yep, I agree. I think you're getting more flexibility out of that 27 first side, but I do think Olave is such a good buy right now, and I think he's talented enough in an offense with a situation to thrive, and there's literally nobody else other than Alvin Kamara, and that's how it's been since Olave's gotten to the Saints. So I think that he's going to get a ton of target opportunity and volume in that Saints offense, and it's going to be good for him with Kellen Moore, who is like notoriously known for absolutely feeding his number one wide receiver out of the slot. We saw it with Keenan Allen in the Chargers days. We saw it with CeeDee Lamb, and we saw it with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith with the Eagles. So I think that Chris Olave with the Saints is going to have a ton of target opportunity.
Yeah. Trade number 8 coming from Brett over on the Discord. We got one side with Rashi and Benson and a 27 second. Other side with the Tua Waddle stack. Snoog, I'll throw this one back your way. Which side do we like?
Yeah, I was seeing this one in the Discord. I want Rashi Rice. Trey Benson. I don't even think Trey Benson's a football player. Like I literally wanted. I told him get another
What does that even
second
mean?
instead of. I said get another second instead of Trey Benson to pair up with that 27-second and then have Rashee Rice. Trey Benson looks like a lost puppy on the football field last year. So unless he has a big improvement, which is very doable and possible, I just don't care to own him anywhere because he's
I think if Connor goes down, you're going to be able to flip Benson in that second for a first. I want Rice.
Yeah.
Technically, I think Rice in the second's enough. So I feel like Waddle's almost just. I'm sorry. I feel like Benson's almost like a free giveaway for me. Like I'm not in on Tua. Waddle's not my guy. I think Rice is going to absolutely kill it. Crazy Connor. He's like, hey, it's just for the love of the game. Last week we had a guy get into the Smash Accept 20 high rollers for a 99-cent love of the game. You know, we love those kind of things.
All right. Next one coming in from Jonas Barrios. Appreciate the super chat, Jonas. We got a 12-team super flex half-point PPR. He currently has Jamar, Tet, BTJ, Neighbors, Olave, Baker, AR, and Love at quarterback. So the trade question he's asking is McCarthy, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant in a third, or Kyler and Luther Burden.
Ooh, Snoogs. What do you got, buddy?
I want Kyler Murray all day long by a mile on that side.
This is one of the most interesting super chat questions I've ever seen.
Yeah, this one coming in from Dark Tworth. Appreciate it, Dark. He said, why did I take Breece Hall over Quinshawn in my startup draft?
I would too.
Should have taken both.
I would have taken Breece Hall too, because Breece Hall, I mean, you look at what he did in 2023 and it was absolutely electric. Get Aaron Rodgers out of there. I think Justin Fields is going to do good things for him. Targets the running back a little bit more. I really think he's going to be, doing big things this year. I think he's going to have that opportunity to bounce back. Hall, I still have over Judkins in my rankings. It's close. I mean, it has gotten a lot closer than what it would have been last year. But Snoog, I mean, you still have to take Hall over Judkins, but it's gotten close.
It is close. The question is, why didn't you take both of them? Because that's what I would have done.
Oh, I like this one, though. This is a two-part question. He said, where do you guys fall on taking a third quarterback in Superflex startups? I've been through 5 and haven't been able to pull the trigger. Snoog, this is great because Smash Accept 20, I came out with Josh Allen, Drake May. You came out with Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, because we both believe that inside your top 4 rounds, you need 2 quarterbacks. The third quarterback, I've taken Justin Fields as my third quarterback in every startup that I've done this past offseason. Now I know I won't get him in Smash 20, so great. Thank you. But I don't like taking a third quarterback before I finish my roster. Like, so many guys are out there. You have to look at the value of where it lies, right? It gets tricky to when you're in round 7, you're like, ooh, do I want this quarterback or do I want my RB2? Or do I want this quarterback? When I build my rosters, the way I look at it is I have Drake May and Josh Allen. If one of them gets hurt, I'm trading them for another quarterback plus. Like if Drake May gets hurt, I don't need a third quarterback. I'll take a Matthew Stafford, a Geno Smith, a flash like that where I just throw somebody late. That's how I tend to look at it, if that makes sense, Snoop. What about you? Like if you waited
Stafford round 13.
Yeah, but I mean, if you waited him, if McCarthy's your QB1, then yeah, you better do it. You get McCarthy, Penix, and then but Brock, what about you? I mean, like, this is a tricky question. I see some guys, they'll take 3 quarterbacks in their first 5 picks. I hate that because you better hope you get a good trade partner. I'm personally in that realm of, if I have 2 elite guys, someone's going to pay up for one of them if I need it.
Yeah, I think like in both of your instances, since you both went quarterback to start rounds 1 and 2, definitely wait. But like in the startup I just did a month ago, like I had Josh Allen and then I waited and got like Baker round 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe like rounds,
Penix.
Yeah, maybe like a few rounds after that, I'll try and take another one just to feel a little more safe. You guys went Herbert, Hurts, you went, Allen and May. It's like, then you wait because you don't want to spend like your 3 of the top 8 picks on quarterbacks. I think that's just silly. But if you take them early, wait, maybe if you're kind of spacing them out, then definitely grab some 2 later in the mid rounds, I would say. Next one coming from N8Dog9 over on Discord. Nate Dog 9.
The greatest rap singer of all time. R.I.P. Nate Dogg.
This trade's going to be a 12-team, 1 quarterback league. We got Ricky Pearsall in a late second or Tyreek Hill. Dad, what do we think?
I want Tyreek Hill here. Like, Ricky Pearsall's nice. He's not winning you anything. Like, he's nice, right? Tyreek Hill's going to win it. So if you are in a single quarterback, a late second is literally in the game that we play in Superflex, like all of us, it's like getting, the 303. Like give me the Tyreek side all day.
All right, we'll do this one, and then we'll go back through a few super chats I think we missed there from Notorious and Doof. We'll hit those right after this one. Trade 10 coming from a Smash Accept League itself. All right, we got one side with JSN and a 27 second, other side with Waddle and a 26 first. Rebuilding, but it's not his first that he's getting back. It's just a random one. Snoog, which side do we like here? You're muted.
Good, because he's going to try to say Waddle, and I'm going to get angry.
No, it's the JSN side, especially because it's not your first. If it was your first, like it was in that last deal we talked about with Igbuka, I would say the Waddle side. Not your first. If it's mid to late, I want JSN there. You're getting a foundational asset and a second back in a better class. I want
a lot of people say to me, they're like, well, Dad, you always say you need to build out before you build up. The two things in your rebuild that you're really trying to do is minimize risk and maximize your upside. JSN is considerably younger. You're getting a 27 second that you can flip later, but there's a real chance that JSN is valued as a top 12 wide receiver, where there is a 0 chance that Jalen Waddle is a foundational asset in that top 12 range.
Yeah. All right. Going back to some of these super chats. Appreciate you coming through, Notorious. We got a 12-team super flex PPR, a 1-year punt. So right now, Caleb Johnson or a 2027 first. Dad, what do we think if it's early, mid,
first.
late?
I don't care where it is. I like Caleb Johnson. I've been writing about him on Twitter all over the place in the last week. I think he's going to have a really good year, but you're punting. You're losing. If you have a running back in your starting lineup, you are making your first worse. So get it done out of the way now. Go get that 27 first. What I would like to do is, if the guy really wants Caleb Johnson, get a 27 first and a Braylon Allen, a Ray Davis, whatever insurance running back he has, because then when somebody gets injured, you can flip that insurance running back. I make that kind of trade. Ray Davis, becomes the starter when James Cook goes out. Now all of a sudden I take a second, add it to Ray Davis, and I get another first. And that's how winning is done.
Yep. And then the other one coming in from Doof. Appreciate you coming through here again, Doof. We got one side Connor and a mid 27 first. Other side Jacobs and a mid 27 second. Are those guys a first second swap off for you, Snoog? Which side do we like?
Yeah, I want the first second. I want the first Connor side. I love that 1-2 swap, and I love getting RB1 production, maybe strong RB2 production if both are healthy. Regardless, obviously Jacobs is the better player, the better asset. He's going to outproduce Connor, but James Conner will cut that gap pretty quickly if he's healthy. If he plays a full 17, he's probably putting up 230, 240, 250 fantasy points. And then that gap between a mid 27 first and a mid 27 second, that first is the most valuable asset in this trade.
This is what's fun when we break these down. Same process, but I look at it as I would rather the mid 27 first over Jacobs, and I would rather Connor over the mid 27 second.
You do a little crisscross.
Exactly. We're thinking the same way, just slightly different process.
Yeah. All right. Next trade 11, coming from Silent Platypie over on Twitter. We got one side rebuilding team. We got one side with Bijan, Addison, other side Neighbors, and a late 27 first. Dad, I'll throw this one your way. Which side do we like?
Malik Neighbors all day long. Malik Neighbors over Bijan, the first over Addison, especially because you're rebuilding.
Yep.
I don't see any scenario where that's not the clear choice, but it's very doable trade.
Yeah. Next one, trade 12 coming from Ryan Azevedo over from Twitter. We got one side with Dubes and a 26 first, other side with Metcalf and a 26 third. Snoog, break this one down. What do we think?
Yeah, I want Metcalf side. I'm not big on Metcalf. I wouldn't say I'm like a diehard truther, but I think he's going to do numbers with Aaron Rodgers as literally the only guy on that Steelers offense that's going to catch passes from a receiver standpoint. John is fine, but I just think he's the guy there. And I think we've seen a ceiling with Russell Wilson and when they were both in their prime, and a guy that was force-fed the ball, and we saw what he did. He was a top 10 wide receiver finisher. He was actually like a top 7. So I think DK still has juice, and he can still be a top 15 guy. with a big year with a good quarterback. So
yeah, Romeo Dobbs is not the guy to get this deal gap closed. If this was, say, Stephon Diggs, and you give me a 26 first,
Calvin
now I feel
Ridley.
like those are the perfect guys where if you want to still compete and get yourself a first on top of that. Speaking of competing, we talked about this already, but guys, we are going to be giving away a draft board from draftkits.co. You go over there today, code DAD25 gets you 10% off. They got the best draft boards there is. We're going to be giving one of them away today. Not too late to get back into that game. We have 25 guys. We will be giving one of those away, as well as 3 different sets of VIP Patreon. Well, one basic, and then we got a lot coming out. We got a lot coming out.
All right, next trade coming from L Brewer OD from the Discord. We got one side with Jaden Reed, RJ Harvey, and a 27 first. Other side, Bucky Irving and Chris Olave. Dad, I'll kick this one your way. Which side do we like here?
This was kind of hard. I low-key lean the Harvey and first side, but not strongly. I mean, if it's late, it's Bucky Olave. If it's mid, it's Harvey Reed. If it's early, it's big-time Harvey Reed. But I don't find myself wanting Jaden Reed anywhere. Like, I every time I have Jaden Reed, I want to trade him. So, like, I feel like you could still get a pretty good, Harvey and Reed still doesn't equal Bucky. I don't know, Snoog. This one doesn't do it for me in any way, shape, or form. I lean
Olave for me.
Yeah, but it's not a smash by any stretch of the imagination.
All right, next one coming in from a Hippo Crip over on the Discord. He said they said they flipped James Cook for Kamara and Ayuk. Oh, excuse me. First trade.
2 parts.
Cascaded one. So Herbert, James Cook, and 2 27 seconds for Goff, Ridley, Hall, and Pacheco. And then since they got Cook, they flipped that for Kamara and Ayuk. So Herbert, Kamara, Ayuk, 2 27 seconds for Goff, Ridley, Hall, and Pacheco. Dad, what do we think?
I think it's a double smash. I mean, I think I like if I look at this, for me, you're looking at Goff and Hall.
You want to pull that one back up real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the trade here. I would prefer Herbert and Cook over Goff and Hall. The 227, Ridley's worth a second. Pacheco, I don't want on my team. I think you're taking a bunch of uncertainty on the right and turning it into a foundational quarterback and an RB1 on the left. And this is what makes this even better. This is what brings out to the cowbell, is that you took James Cook and the volatility there and got Kamara and Ayuk. Kamara goes into your lineup. Ayuk is someone that you're going to be able to flip because the value is going to go up. Snoog, you got to love this Cook part of it.
Yep, absolutely love it. I think you're getting a very undervalued player in Brandon Ayuk on a big contract and a good offense and a running back that's going to outscore James Cook. So I think that's a banger move all around, and the gap between Jared Goff and Justin Herbert in Dynasty for me is big.
It should be, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we got Bus Nasty coming in for the second super chat of the night. He said he just smashed Neighbors for Lad, the 205, 210, and 403. Couple seconds and a fourth for Neighbors, Dad, on top of Lad. What do we think?
See, I'm glad you're younger. You can say that. Anytime I say I smash Neighbors, I get the pause. People will put pause or be like, Dad, what you doing? Here's the deal. Stop trading Malik Neighbors. Just stop. Like, I saw this the other day where there was one where it was like Lad and Jordan Addison. You're like, oh, you're getting 2 producers, and Lad produced similar to Malik Neighbors last year. The gap in talent between Malik Neighbors and Ladd McConkey, I'm sorry, Ladd McConkey was very good last year, but he will never be Malik Neighbors as far as fantasy production, as far as actual value, as far as elite upside. I mean, just stop trading Malik Neighbors. That's just my biggest, pet peeve. Like, don't trade him. Just don't.
Don't do it.
Like, but always take him, Bus Nasty. Always take him. This is
always take him. What? No, but what build do you have where you're trying to trade Malik Neighbors? The answer is none. He's going to put up elite points, and he's 21. Just, let's get it done. Let's do it. We have 10 more trades here, or 8 more trades. We'll just rapid fire here these because we always want to make sure we answer your trades. We'll go back and forth. Let's hit it up.
Let's do it. This one, a Boat Commish Discord. We got one side with Judy, a late 27 second or 26 first, or a late 27 first. So
Yeah.
he can choose if he wants a mid to early 26-1 or a late 27 first, or just keep Judy in the late second. Dad, what do we think?
Mid to early 26 first. Let's stop pretending a late 27 first is on the same par. Give me the mid to early.
All right. This one coming from Snoob over on the Discord. We got Rashi and a 26 first, or your boy Garrett Wilson. Snoog, what do we think?
I want Rashi Rice. I think that's a cowbell opportunity all day long right there, Dad. Pull that out.
The gap is an early second. It's definitely not a first.
Yeah.
All right. Next one coming from W Bacon 12. So people are trading neighbors again, Dad. What's going on here? We got neighbors and a 26 second. Other side with Penix, Rome, and a 26 first. Which side are you leaning, Dad?
I mean, you can love Michael Penix and not make this trade. It's Malik Neighbors. I mean, as much as Rome and Penix, even if Penix bounces back and has he has a really good season this year, I think it's still going to be Neighbors side unless that 26 first is early. Mid, it's a loss. Late, it's a really bad loss unless Rome absolutely I feel 50% confident that Rome gets it done this year. I feel 100% confident Malik Neighbors is a top 5 dynasty pick next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trade 18 coming from Dak Tech over on Discord. We got a haul for the 101. He got the 105, 206, a first next year, and a first the next year because he goddamn felt like it, as Sonny Weaver would put it. Dad, what are we thinking here? Cowbell?
Dude, this is the type of trade that Snoog and I were getting done in February because people were so high on Genty. But this is going to be Travion Henderson, Jaden Higgins and 2 firsts. You're like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Next one coming from Seth
Sean Owens.
Sean Owens from the Discord. We got one side with Derrick Henry. Is a big one. We got one side with Derrick Henry. Oh, how is this even close? Derrick Henry, Jefferson, and Hurts, or Stroud, JSN, Swift, Hunter, Fannin, and 227 seconds. Snoog, what do you think on this one?
I think I want Hurt side. I think you're getting the best assets by far on the Hurt side. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think
it is.
It's Hurt
It
side.
is. It is. I know. I went through that like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, it's close.
Next one coming from Smash Accept Haynes B. We got Purdy and Josh Downs or Caleb Williams. Dad?
Take the hype of Downs as much as I like him. Go by Caleb. This is off by this was in one of the Smash Accept leagues, so I don't want to say. I mean, but it's almost off by a late first. I think the gap. I mean, the gap between Purdy and Caleb is a first. Downs just doesn't close it for me.
Yeah. All right, we got 3 more to run through a super chat, and then we'll start spinning some wheels. This one coming from Nick Porter over on Twitter. We got again Derrick Henry in the 26 second, or Chuba and a random 27 first. Snoog, what do we think?
I want Chuba in the first. I think that's an amazing insulated move. That's literally a Smash Accept approved move right there.
Good deal. Next one coming from Keebers over on the Discord. We got Chase on one side, other side, Puka, Juwan Jennings, a 27 first, and 227 seconds. Dad, what do we think?
Chase. I like Puka, but I mean, the 27 first would have to be early to mid for me to do this. The
seconds and Jennings.
The seconds and Jennings don't do anything for me when I'm talking about trading Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Next trade coming from Real Schmitty over on the Discord. We got one side with Waddle Pickens, the 105, and Tony Pollard. Other side with Nico, the 111, and the 205. Snoog, what do we think on this one?
It's always Nico Collins a bust.
It's always Nico.
That's a good haul though. 105 doing there.
I like that. And then we saw this one. Yeah, he received neighbors on that one.
And then I like this one to end it off.
Mike Huncho coming in saying Dad is about to crash out over these neighbors trades. And it's valid. I think it's very valid. There's no reason to trade him. If you're rebuilding, he's 21. If you're contending, he's going as a top 10 pick on underdog drafts. In your redraft leagues, he's going to go in the first round. So no scenario where you can't use him on your team unless you're getting someone else in that tier and some other picks on top of it. There's just no need.
All right, this has been a fun show. Snoog's going to pull up the board here. Again, you guys don't have to just try to win it on here, but draftkits.co, go over there, use code DAD25. You're going to get 10% off. You're going to get unlimited amounts of high fives. I mean, look at those high color stickers. You're going to put Brock Bowers up on the board in your 2.5 tight end premium at the 101.
101.
People are going to be like, oh, snap. You know, like you're going to put those up there. There's no better way than just kicking back, tell everybody in your league to bring a 24-pack, sit back, exchange beers, go up with a board, put your guy up there. I mean, the live drafts, a lot of you guys have made it too technology based where you're like, oh, let's all get our apps and throw it up on the TV screen. Knock it off. Have some fun. This is the Dynasty Dad approved. There's nothing cooler than going back to our roots when we were little kids and putting stickers up on the board. It's a great time. If you guys haven't done it, if you haven't done it that way, do it. We're going to be doing a thing where my son, I'm really excited about this. My son said, Dad, someday I'm going to take over the family business. So, in 35 years from now, Snoog's going to be the guy with a little bit of gray in his beard, working with my son, talking about trades. Brock's going to still be coming in here, Trade Show Tuesdays. But the thing is, he wants to do a league with his friends and get a draft board off Draft Kit. So they're starting to all chip together a couple of bucks because they want to get their own custom board put together where they want me to film it and put it on Twitter. So it's just a fun thing. Get together with some friends and do your draft. So Snoog, let's see that window.
Board's ready. Ready to go.
Here we go. All right. Best of luck. Again, we will be giving away 1 basic, 2 VIP, and a draft board. So here we go. First one. Let's see who gets that basic. I'm pumped, man. We hit 28 and nobody's girlfriend was
Mike Honcho.
Mike Honcho! He's already in there. A little bit of a disclaimer, guys. All right. And this is something where if you guys are already in the Discord and you win the free month of basic, basically we are not able to do those kind of things. What guys have been doing is gifting that. So if you win that and you're already in there, they do not have an option where they actually allow us to go ahead and give you a free gift code. So gift it to a friend, like pass that on, bring another guy in there, and we do referral bonuses for that kind of stuff.
Number 2. Like roulette.
We've got a new guy here, Dustin Lala. Oh, I love the little cheering at the end when they ring the bell.
I know. It's like, get me going.
I don't know about the Steelers stuff we're putting up on here, but Crazy Connor, he's in there as well. Connor. And I love this because this is what's so cool about the Discord and the family here is Mike Conchu says, please gift it. He wants to give it to somebody else. So Snoog, spin the wheel again. We're gonna gift this one away. We're gonna do the VIP. Overcome. He's a new guy. I love it. Oh, nope. So's Prism. Prism is not in there. This kind of stuff, you guys put things on here. Patrick Peeble says, what's up, Dad? The Customs says, really appreciate for all you guys do for the community. Like that's kind of stuff is really cool. Let's get one more in here. This is for the draft board. This is the draft board. Come on. Now this one, any Patreons can win. Oh, I thought Mike Honcho got another one. Adam is back. Almost got Doof and back-to-back big weeks. So Adam, reach out. We will get you set up with that. We're gonna have a lot of. We're 9 weeks away, fellas, from really getting some football in here.
Training.
It's gonna be crazy. So we're really appreciative of you guys coming out, checking things out every single Tuesday. Make sure you guys go over to the Discord, patreon.com/smash accept. Right now, I'm not going to say it for a lot of you guys that stuck around. Code DAD50 gets you 50% off. All right, just go do it. Don't tell anybody else because it's this late in the show. So thanks for tuning in and enjoy the process.